Hello students. In this session, I am going to handle BSc first semester general chemistry paper, right? Under that, the topic I am going to cover is introduction to organic chemistry. So let us discuss about the definition, importance of organic compounds to life, sources of organic compounds, and applications in different fields like foods, fuels, textiles, dyes, drugs, and cosmetics with examples. Students, suppose if I pose a question, what is organic chemistry? You may answer, organic chemistry is the main branch of chemistry and it is the study of carbon compounds. Similarly, if I pose a question, what are organic compounds? You may answer, organic compounds are the compounds containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. In addition to this, some special elements like nitrogen, sulfur, halogens, etc. are also present. Right? Yes, it is organic chemistry deals with the study of carbon compounds. So this carbon has the ability to bond successively, means repeatedly, to other carbon atoms. So it can form chains of varying lengths and shapes. For example, if we take benzene, you might have seen it is hexagonal in shape, where 6 carbon atoms are attached to one another. So similarly, if I ask cyclobutane, you may say, yes, butane contains 4 carbon atoms and they are arranged in square shape. Similarly, if I ask cyclopropane, you may say it is 3 carbon atoms are present and they are arranged in triangular shape. Yes, so this carbon can form chains of varying lengths and shapes. This property is called as catenation. This is very important property of catenation, which is responsible for the existence of variety and large number of organic compounds. So in our life, we come across with thousands and thousands of organic compounds in every day-to-day life. Let us pass on to the tremendous importance of organic compounds in everyday life. First of all, let us take food. Food, what we eat is organic in nature. We eat carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, that is fats and oils, they are organic in nature. Food undergoes change in our body, where thousands of organic chemical reactions occur in our body. So again there, organic chemistry comes into picture. Similarly, metabolism, growth, and maintenance of our body functions involve organic chemistry. For example, you take our hair, it contains keratin, again it is protein. Our muscles contain collagen, again it is protein. Blood contains sugar level, again it is carbohydrate. And likewise, in every walk of our life, this organic chemistry plays a vital role. Let us pass on to the sources of organic compounds. Where do we get these organic compounds? They are obtained from two sources. First one is natural source and another one is prepared in the laboratory. You can call it as synthetic organic compounds. So, from natural source, we get from plants and animal kingdom. Plants and animal kingdom provides hundreds of organic compounds to us. Let us see with examples here. Suppose if you take plants, it is sugars, starch, cellulose, citric acid, oxalic acid, tartaric acid, indigo, oils, vitamins, etc. we obtain from natural source. They may be vitamins, they may be fats, they may be acids, They may be carbohydrates, they may be proteins, whatever we get from plants. Similarly, from animal source, we get fats, proteins, urea, uric acid, vitamins, hormones, etc. So similarly, from synthetic source, that is from prepared in the laboratory, on wood distillation, we get acetic acid, methyl alcohol, acetone, etc. Similarly, coal tar distillation also gives a number of organic compounds. They are benzene, toluene, naphthalene, carbolic acid, cresols, pyridine, dyes, perfumes, drugs, etc. Similarly, let us pass on to the from natural gas and petroleum distillation also provides many other organic compounds which are very useful for us. They are alkanes and their derivatives, chloroform, toluene, alcohol, etc. From fermentation process. Even at home you can prepare, even wine we prepare from using grapes. So likewise, during fermentation process, we get ethyl alcohol, amyl alcohol, acetic acid, etc. Now let us pass on to the applications of organic chemistry, where all organic chemistry plays a vital role. Already we have said n number of organic compounds are present. So applications of organic chemistry, food, it is cereals we get, vegetables, fats, milk, sugar, etc. All these are organic compounds where we eat as food. Similarly, clothing, we get cotton from cotton plant, wool we get from animal, silk we get from silkworm, nylon, it is synthesized, terylene, it is from synthetic source. Again, all these come under clothing, which are organic compounds which are useful for us. Similarly, in industries, we get n number of organic compounds we synthesize. It may be paper, plastics, paints, dyes, or drugs we prepare in pharmaceutical companies, petroleum, alcohol, rubber, textiles, soaps, sugar, etc. Similarly, even these organic compounds play a vital role in the medicine field also. We synthetically prepare aspirin, quinine, sulfur drugs, penicillin, disinfectants, etc. So in this picture, what you can observe is we get all these synthetic organic compounds in different proportions and the rest is from natural source. For example, if we take dyes, it is 99% we obtain synthetically and only 1% we obtain from natural source. Similarly, plastics and resins, if you take, it is 97% we obtain, that is synthetically we obtain, and only 3% we get from natural source. So similarly, pharmaceuticals, it is 75% is synthesized and 25% we get from natural source. You may say Ayurveda medicals, they are from natural source. Soaps, it is 67% we obtain, that is we synthesize, and the rest is from natural source. It is rubber, 62% is synthesized and the rest is from natural source. Paints, 60% is synthesized, 40% we obtain from natural source. And lastly, textiles, it is 31%, it is the least what we are going to synthesize, and the rest we get from natural source. So these are list of organic compounds in everyday life. Already I have briefed about this. Just will rush it up. It's like conclusion. Food, it is proteins, fats, carbohydrates. Textiles, cotton, silk, wool, nylon, rayon, shelter. Remember here, this word we have not discussed. So shelter also we get from organic compounds. That is wood, paints, varnishes, they are organic in nature. Fuels, without fuel, nowadays we cannot live at all. We travel so many from place to place. So without fuel, we cannot survive. Natural gas and petroleum products, coal, drugs, penicillin G, streptomycin, aspirin, etc. Dyes, we get n number of dyes synthetically. And cosmetics, it is phthalates, parabens, etc. Now, students, let us pass on to multiple choice questions. Whatever I have covered in this session, let us discuss about this. So, the first question is, carbon exhibits the most important property called, so it has appeared in the first slide itself. Is it catenation? There are four options. Is it carbonation? Is it elongation? Or is it caramelization? So the answer is A, it is catenation. Very important question. Now let us pass on to the second one. The question is, synthetic organic compounds are, is it silk? Is it silk is synthetic one? Is cellulose is synthetic? Is coal is synthetic? Or last option is none of the above. So the answer is D, none of the above. Third question is, aspirin is the example for, is it fuel? Is it dye? Is it fabric? Or is it drug? So this also we have discussed under drug as an example. Yes, the answer is drug. Fourth question is, organic compounds are present in the food. Is it as proteins or as carbohydrates or as lipids? Is it all of the above? Let us see the answer. Yes, the answer is fourth one, all of the above. Last question is the hybridization. You may ask question, it is not discussed here. Already you have studied in your PU class. That's why I have included this question for you. The hybridization involved in carbon is it sp2 hybridization? Is it sp3? Is it sp or all of the above? So the question is all of the above. In organic compounds, we come across with all the three types of hybridization in one or the other compound. So these are the references I have made. That is textbook of organic chemistry by Arun Bhal and B.S. Bhal. A textbook of organic chemistry, that is third edition by Raj K. Bhansal, and organic chemistry by Bhupinder Mehta and Manoj Mehta. So you can refer any textbook and this is most useful for you. You can go through any organic chemistry book. So it is Digital Learning Department of Collegiate Education is presenting you this video. Thank you very much.